Greetings, YouTube. By the time this video makes it to YouTube, you will have most likely joined your first attempt at the new Alliance Quest changes. Godspeed to you on those. I've done videos already where I've covered some champs to bring to fight Sentinels, and I'll be coming out with part 2 of that tomorrow because I'm currently collecting the data and editing a video to bring 10 more non-God tier champs into Alliance Quest to fight with Sentinels. But today's video is all about how much, to be blunt, it's going to suck to fight these new Alliance Quest mini-bosses. Now, of course, they're never fun to fight, but in the past, like if you're fighting Mach 5 and you have a Rhino, Rhino's pretty easy, and even Cable, even with a special one that can be unblockable, the damage is not too bad. So certainly Hyperion was probably the toughest mini-boss, but even Hyperion, not that terribly difficult if you bait his specials and bring someone like an Iceman that can use the ice armor to not be hurt too much by the special 3 if the power does get too high. But Kabam, in their infinite quest to make you burn more potions, revives, and ultimately units, has buffed all of their Map 5 and Map 6 mini-bosses, and I wanted to take the time to go through real quick and remind you of what you're going to be in for. And I know there's going to be some people who comment, whatever, bro, if you didn't suck so much at this game and you were like me and never got hit, you wouldn't have to worry about making videos like this. All right, first off, douchebag. You're going to be that same guy that first time you try Map 6 and Void hits you and you try to parry when he's at 24% health and you remember, oh yeah, they're unblockable, and you die. You're probably not going to comment on the same video and say, hey bro, by the way, I sucked it up today for my Alliance in Map 6. For some reason, those kind of comments, they just never make it back. I wonder why. But for everybody else out there who's willing to admit you're human in this game, I wanted to touch on the mini-bosses. And the first one, and again, I'm staying with Map 5 and Map 6 because the upper-tiered alliances, even the middle to upper tier, run mostly Map 5 and Map 6. They also cost the most for donations. You're going to see Morningstar. Now, Morningstar is a champion that's not the hardest to beat because you just want to bait the special one and do your best to not have a champion that bleeds. But even if you bring in Blade traditionally, you can knock down some of the chance to bleed and use the regen to heal up. And because Kabam knows this, they have added not only a 250% champion boost, which includes a 200% health, but also enhanced bleed, meaning I would not really trust my Blade now against Morningstar, even with the danger sense active, because the chances are you could bleed much faster than you could regen against, especially on the later days like day 4 and day 5 of this opponent. So my main advice against Morningstar, obviously you want to bring a bleed immune champ. Ultron is great for regeneration, but I think Vision, either version of Vision, could be the MVP here, because if for some reason you kind of lose track of your combo meter and you get up accidentally that special 2, you're going to want to drain the power, and obviously the special 1 of Vision, either Vision, does just that. So just keep that in mind, especially because in the Encounter 2 of Morningstar, there's 100% power gain. So we talk about the ability to really lose health fast if you are not careful, because that special 2 will still do quite a bit of damage. All right, the second is Green Goblin. Now, for Green Goblin, I want to point out this pretty fast. Green Goblin's worst abilities are healing, at least in my experience. Green Goblin has a very underrated heal, and because Kabam knows this, they have made his recovery 100% more than usual. Thanks, Kabam. So with Green Goblin, I want to go ahead and advise, of course, the MVP in most of these is going to be Blade with the Ghost Rider synergy, because Green Goblin is a villain, which will trigger Danger Sense. But if you're like me, your Blade and your Ghost Rider will most likely be in Alliance War, not Alliance Quest, until you have 2 different versions of those characters. So until then, I actually think Guillotine would be an amazing champion to bring, because you can reverse that heal. You can do the same thing with Void. So either of those 2 champions are fantastic options. Now, the next one I think is going to be a tremendous underrated pain, because even though he has been in the contest for quite some time, Nightcrawler specializes in, of course, the very annoying evade and then leading the deep wounds to make you bleed out very quickly. Now, because Kabam knows that most Nightcrawler fights are advantaged when you parry, they have made him with the special Limber node, which reduces the stun duration by, I believe it's 10% every time you parry until after about 5 or 6. He basically doesn't get stunned at all when you parry. So, obvious choice for this is Iceman, but a lot of people don't have Iceman. I think you're really going to be effective kind of like with Vision again, where you parry at first and drain the power, and then just remember you can get a safe combo once he's stunned, but when he gets out of the stun, that's when he can evade and then counter quickly and make you bleed. So bleed immune, champions are good. Obviously, the class advantage you can also use depending on which champions, but just be careful to not parry too much too quickly, or else you're losing your ability to make Nightcrawler stun, and that's especially tough. Now, map 6, we only have Void, and I have alluded to this already, but the big deal with Void, and this is something I guarantee you a lot of people are going to forget, is that all attacks become unblockable in the last 25%. And I believe, comment below and let me know if I'm wrong, I believe that includes all specials and base attacks. Everything is unblockable. And we know that Void has projectiles, so that's going to be very difficult if you don't time it well, especially if you're going in on an intercept. Now, Void counters, again, Blade is the obvious one, but if you don't have Blade, you got to come up with something else for map 6. Classic Daredevil is a great choice. Not only do you have the advantage, but you also get to dodge those unblockable attacks, and then once you've dodged, you can come in and intercept before he has the chance to hit you again and strike. But I think Black Widow might be a decent option as well. There are a number of choices that I, of course, have not covered in this video because I don't want this to be 20 minutes long, but I'm super curious who you're going to bring for these fights. My last point is this. I would like you to do me a favor, and that's comment below and let me know what the new Alliance Quest reward should be, because between Sentinels and these new mini-bosses, everybody but the alleged, best of the best are going to burn more potions and more revives over time. I don't care who you are, it's going to happen. Kabam has made these fights harder. They're supposed to be more challenging, and I get that. But we have not heard anything, at least not as this video is being recorded, of major changes to the Alliance Quest rewards, which is absolutely insane. If I'm an alliance that has an upper tier alliance war and I know I'm going to be burning 1,000 units on alliance war on revives and potions, I'd rather go to map 3 right now and just wait for map 5 and map 6 until the rewards get buffed. We know, because 6-star champions are now becoming the norm, there is an insane amount of tier 2 alphas and tier 5 basic catalysts to rank them up. We're talking not available in the game at this point. So if they really want to evolve as a company and prove to their loyal players that they are serious about making the rewards worth your time, and I want to say so far Alliance War has been pretty close to that, so kudos to them for that, they need to introduce, in my book, easily tier 2 alpha shards and tier 5 basic shards, not shards, but you know what I'm talking about. Tier 5 basics and tier 2 alphas at a minimum. And then besides that, they need to introduce more tier 1 alphas into milestones so that those are not issues if you're not running map 3. And then along with that, I believe there needs to be even more of an incentive on the tier 4 basics, since those are becoming less and less important as tier 5 basics replace them. So I would have a lot more glory worth each of the milestones, even more so. Tier 1 alphas becoming more plentiful, and then lastly, when you're getting to those upper milestones, give us a decent amount of tier 2 alphas so it doesn't take us forever to get them up. And then tier 5 basics, which are the rarest item right now. You got to put those in, especially the map 6 folk. So those are my thoughts. Sorry if this was a little wordy, but I wanted to get as much information as possible because I know you are currently, as a YouTube community, jumping into this right now, and I wanted to be as detailed as possible. Comment below, let me know not only what you think the new Alliance Quest reward should be, I'll do a separate video on that sometime this week, but also what champions are you bringing in to counter these new annoying mini-bosses. And lastly, look out tomorrow, I will be coming out with my round 2 of 10 non-god tier champions for a total of 20 between the two videos that you can count on to counter Sentinels, because they are also going to be annoying, especially if you haven't practiced evading their specials before. Thanks for watching, YouTube, and good luck in every aspect of the game. I hope you don't have to burn many potions or revives in Alliance Quest, but I am skeptical, especially until Kabam improves the very pathetic rewards that are currently in the game.